This is Newcap News with Nerman Esau.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. A 26-year-old man from Poundmaker First Nation is dead after the car he was riding in crashed into a pond. It happened Thursday night on Highway 40, about 30 kilometers west of the Battlefords. The driver managed to get out on his own, but the passenger had to be cut out of his seatbelt by an RCMP officer. The passenger died on scene. The driver, 29-year-old Robert Wilford Badger of Poundmaker First Nations, is facing several charges, including impaired driving causing death. Well, it's not average trailers that have rolled into the Jubilee Regional Park over the past few days. Campers set up some unique portable houses for what they call Prairie Egg Gathering. Elise Cox has more. Now, it seems we don't have that story, so we'll go to the next one. A local man spent all day barbecuing in the border city for a cause dear to his heart.
Hamburgers, hot dogs, barbecue!
Dave Recklow hosted a barbecue in downtown Lloydminster this afternoon. He's raising money for the Thorpe Recovery Center, a facility that helps treat drug and alcohol addictions. It's a cause that hits close to home for Recklow. He lost a member of the family due to drugs. He was only 22 and left behind a girlfriend and a child.
He'd been in and out of rehab a few times, and he lost that battle. So the night of the funeral, I decided we had to do something to try and help some of the young kids that are getting tangled up in the street drugs that are out there.
Recklow and 13 other cyclists will embark on a bike ride from Ardrossan to Lloydminster.
The riders are hoping they raise $30,000 because if they hit that mark, they get to do anything they want with my hair. Pink frosting with feather extensions is what I heard the last time.
To donate or sign up for the ride, you can call 780-808-6819. Now, it's not your average trailers that rolled into Jubilee Regional Park over the past few days. Campers set up some unique portable houses for what they call the Prairie Egg Gathering. Elise Cox has more.
Bowler trailers have a funky 70s design, and they brought a retro feel to the park campground.
They're lightweight, they're very aerodynamic, they're just environmentally friendly. They're, with the price of gas, they're the way to go. I have a biased opinion though.
JJ has been part of this long-standing tradition for quite some time and loves the hard work that gets put into these trailers.
Some, they're basically original, some have had them for a long time. It's you never know what to expect. It's quite interesting, and some people change their trailers quite a bit year to year.
Like John's flashy blue bowler.
I just thought, well, I might as well modernize it a bit or add couple comforts to it. It's gotten out of hand, I guess.
But his improvements have earned him a popular title.
A lot of people call it the party trailer.
Because these campers like to look at it as more of a social experience.
A lot of people, if you haven't met them before, they're just strangers to be friends.
Like first-timer Alvin Zacharias, who restored his 1974 bowler.
The people are just great. They're all just so excited to see you, and they want to see your trailers and how this one's fixed up, and they're just all so friendly, happy-go-lucky people, you know, and it makes it interesting.
But after peeking around the campground,
now with seeing some of the trailers here, I guarantee you next year there will be a difference in my trailer.
And the ideas for improvements are coming from all over Canada.
Because of its uniqueness, this little event can get quite a bit of exposure across Canada, actually, because they draw from this year, I believe, Niagara Falls all the way to, can't remember if they said Yukon.
About 80 trailers arrive each year, and Alvin is already sure it's his new yearly tradition.
We will be back.
Elise Cox, Newcap News.
Now, Emmett Murphy joining me on the desk, and that's crazy. There is a ban on French fries besides McDonald's.
It's ridiculous. You know what one sport I'd like to see in there? I think this area would do very well, chuck wagon racing.
Oh my God, where do we petition? Let's start a petition.
Exactly. Second half of the CPCA season got underway last night in St. Walburg, and a local boy was in the running.
It's a breeding ground for Chuck Stars. A half dozen drivers on the tour called St. Walburg home. And after day one of the St. Walburg show, local favorite Wayne Knight is cautiously sitting in top spot.
Oh, one day at a time. I mean, we got this one by, so hopefully tomorrow night we'll have some success too.
There isn't room for error on the dry and dusty half-mile track.
You know, it's if you're not on the inside or not ahead, it's pretty hard to get a day money. No, they just were ready and started well. You got to start well, and that's what happened.
Knight ran over a half-second faster than his closest competitor on day one. While he has no show title this year, he has finished in the top 5 3 times and won 2 day monies. That has given him the confidence to rein the same outfit he's used throughout the season all weekend long.
Oh, it'll be the same. I'll use the same team. And they've been turning well off one is all spring, so if the horses are working, then if something happens, it's usually my fault. You know, like, I mean, I got penalties in Calgary and I made the mistake. It wasn't the horse's fault.
So after one night of racing, the top 5 looked like this. Wayne Knight's blistering time was good enough to push him into second place in the SIGA Pro Tour standings, just 3.5 points behind the man who finished second on Friday, Vern Nolan. Devin Mitswing continued his hot start to shows this year, while Dallas Dick had encouraging results after a disappointing show last week, while Jamie Labicane built on his great Rangeland Derby results with a 5th place time. Just one team in the NSRBL has advanced to the second round of playoffs. To no one's surprise, that team is the Lloydminster Twins. But the perennial champions had a tougher than expected time getting out of round 1.
The Twins finished the season a league best 12-2, scoring over 100 runs and allowing less than 40. Their first round opponents, the Kindersley Raiders, were a .500 team that lost their last 3 games of the season and allowed more runs than they scored. But after one game, it was the Raiders who had the edge, as they held off the Twins in a 2-1 victory.
It's huge. It's especially in baseball, it's tough to come back with 2 straight wins, and it's everything pretty much. I mean, now we have a little bit more room. We got to come back hard tomorrow, but makes you feel a lot better knowing you got that first one.
I mean, it's a 3-game series. I mean, we've been in these series for years. You know, we're a veteran team. We've been down 1 game before. You know, we're not throwing in the towel by any means. We're going to come out tomorrow and we're going to play hard. We're going to see what happens.
While they let the Raiders win with just 2 runs in Game 1, the Twins made sure that wouldn't happen again. They won Game 2 with a convincing 11-1 victory before putting the Raiders away with a 12-2 clincher.
We're going to be facing somebody tough. There's four first-round series here. Have all been full 3-game series, so going the distance. So whoever we meet is going to be tough. But you know, we look forward to it and get some rest here next few days, maybe a week off, and then we'll get back at her.
All 3 other series are tied at a game apiece. The Twins won't know their second-round opponent until Wednesday night when the Border City Blue Jays and the Meadow Lake Sox wrap up their series.
And in other NSRBL news, Nick Pernitsky of the Wilkie Brewers has been named the regular season MVP. He led the league in hits and doubles and was in the top 5 for home runs, walks, batting average, and on base percentage. He also tied for 9th in stolen bases. Jordan Stacey of the Meadow Lake Sox and Lloydminster Juniors Landon Noyes were runner-ups. The Lloydminster Vandals are currently battling the Grand Prairie Drillers in their final AFL game of the regular season, and there's a lot on the line.
The Vandals sit atop the AFL standings, winning all 5 of their games so far. But even with the so far undefeated season, they are not guaranteed top spot. A loss today would leave them tied with today's opponent.
We have to come out. We know it's going to be a lot harder game, so we're going to have to come out guns a-blazing and focused and ready to go.
Like, they're always hard-hitting team. Like, we have some of our best games against them, but again, we're playing here, so who knows what's going to happen.
There could be a huge clutter at the top if the Vandals lose, and the Calgary Wolfpack beat the Edmonton Army. It will be a 3-way tie for first. The Vandals lost to the Drillers last year as Grand Prairie went undefeated in the regular season.
That's your first look at Newcap Sports. Stay tuned for more news and weather after the break. UFC 149 is at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome in Calgary tonight. Local fighter Mitch Clarke is on the card, trying to redeem himself in his second UFC appearance.
It's been 7 months since Mitch Clarke met John Cholish in the octagon at UFC 140 in Toronto as a confident, undefeated professional MMA fighter.
It's a tough fight, but it's definitely a winnable fight, and I think I'll come out. I don't think he's expecting my style of pressure fighting, mixing strikes and ground. I'd like to win by TKO or KO, first or second round, hopefully.
Clarke's vision was not fulfilled. He lost via TKO at 4:36 of the second round.
He went for an arm bar. I got out of there. Then he took my back. And when he had my back, I was trying to get up, but the body said no. You hear about these octagon jitters of, first-time appearance in the UFC, and, you don't think it's going to happen to you. And I was in great shape for this fight. I have no one to blame but myself.
He gets another shot in the octagon in Calgary with a blemished record, but confidence intact.
I'm pretty excited. I know that I'm going to be able to put on a really good performance, I think, this time. I'm looking to embrace this whole situation, so I think it's going to be a good time.
Clarke is matched against Anton Kuvainen. In a change of strategy from his last defeat, he's not trying to surprise his opponent, but make sure he knows how to control Kuvainen.
More than anything, I'm looking to stop his scrambles and win all the scrambles, set up, takedowns, ground and pound, and submissions.